Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a what a series of open micers, and now we have our feature of the evening. A little bit about Lisbit to introduce you. Lisbit is a San Francisco-grown poet. William Carlos Williams and the Beat generation first inspired her. She arrived in San Francisco in 1985 to attend graduate school and to experience this birthplace of flowering, energetic expression. Meeting Jack Hirschman in 2015 initiated her journey into the full expression of her voice. Her poetry is collected in 5 chapbooks. The latest is I Dined on Rhinestones and Pisco, 2024 Chick Books. She's a well-established poet who has featured at Sacred over the years and has always been well received, created many incredible poetry events, and is a member of the Revolutionary Poets Brigade and an archivist for the San Francisco Maritime National Historical Park. Wonderful things altogether. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you, Dan, very much. Well, I'm really happy to be here. I'll just start with a poem called How to Mourn for a Poet. How to Mourn for a Poet. Cleanse your living body, don a flowing white gown with slackened seams, cock-billed hems, threads trailing untied, the unbound soul gone at the last heartbeat, free to dip and swoop through the cosmos, finally blinded from the self to become selfless joy. Burn away the soul's vessel now unballasted, with salving sage to ease the passing of the age. Burn away a book of words once lovingly conveyed. Burn away the words along with the body. Burn away from this sickened earth. Contained in an urn, this is for us, the living, in sure and certain hope, in need of sage sagacity. Eyes fly at half-mast, bare feet move forward on varnished boards, under a disheveled halo of hair. Arms carry a basket of bread, water, wine, ashes of poems, and dead earth. What are words but a fair scrabbling at meaning from memory? What is grief but remembering? Loss flowing with each rippling gust. Remembering the remembering of memories further and further away. Ashes of words and corporeal being, now undulating and following sea, now flying on fair trailing winds, now buoyant above the horizon, now igniting the heavens. This next one is an ekphrastic poem. It's based on a painting by Sophia Carmi. It was titled Blue Shirts. It was part of a Poets and Painters exhibition held, back in 2017 at the Macchiarini Gallery in North Beach. And this is my poem to Sophia's painting. 3 Graces of Water. Grief is a desert where we wander nomadic. Tears have turned our hearts to thirsty ruins. We are made of water and firmly embraced by hardened clay, so easily broken by our lives. Our coats of blue catch the sand in the warp and weft of threads, thick and thin, like our breath. The desert is more than grief. Beneath the surface, it has its own tides of unbreakable water. 1. Quench. We are seated with grief in a place of light without shadows. All the shadows are within us. Our first prayer asks to slake a thirst we've never known. Where do we look for water in this dead sea of salt? 2. Cleanse. We stand with unsteady confidence. Some darkness finds its way out. Bright light of compassion finds a way in through the fissures. Water flows in to wash and balance. Salt scrubs and absolves, lets us sense again. 3, grow. We walk forward slowly, our sharp edges polished with salt and water, a remade vessel. We carry the shards and feel whole once more. This next poem is written by my father, Nelson Edgar Bailey. He turns 90 this year. He spent, when he first retired, he spent a number of years doing medical missionary trips. He was a dentist and oral surgeon, did a lot of cleft palate surgeries in these other countries. This poem is My Journey, My Palestine. I found all the Arabs friendly in all of my encounters. Their countryside is so austere, but their friendship is what matters. They've suffered long oppression since 1948, and long overdue concessions could start to set things straight. Like giving up some settlements built upon Arabs' lands and closing down disastrous camps that violate God's holy plans. US tax dollars and agenda have corrupted the Holy Land. They have made Israelis all too rich and impoverished the Muslim man. Those noble people pray a lot and purify their souls. With hope lasting generations, they look for days of old. A culture of proud Bedouins and a history full of scholars have been beaten down by media and god-awful US dollars. America needs a new agenda of commitment to human fairness that gives us hope in the Middle East and delivers peace with justice. He wrote that in December of 1998. This next one is called Wishful, and it's a variation on an ethery form, poetic form. Wishful. Here, things break everywhere, built, then broken, nothing meant to last. Free market, free for none, all for money's sake and not love. Tell me, what are we waiting for? Late capitalism is failing. American dream, greed as a good scheme. I dream a new dream. Free is a good scheme. Ample harvests everywhere to share. Key needs met for all and then some. Housing, learning, and healthcare. We pursue happiness always for love's sake. No one left out. Everywhere things grow. Listen. This next one is from the Revolutionary Poets Brigade anthology, the Building Socialism, Volume 2, Fighting Fascism. I was fortunate enough to be an editor on this with John Curl and Jack Hirschman. And this poem is called Flowers of Zeus, and it's about the bloodless coup in Portugal back in the 1970s. Flowers of Zeus. These aren't flowers for beaux boutonnieres, mothers' bouquets, doctors' altruism, or president's luck. These flowers of Zeus rise from roots alive underground. They are never dormant. Workers' hands and faces reddened by their labor as they scrape and scratch a living from under capitalism's thumb. red expressions of pain before crimson rises, or like unearthed passion compelling us to live lovingly. Carnation is a word of honor, standing for blood embodied, for remembering and celebrating the people's sacrifices. The people of Portugal toppled their capitalist city, ended the dictatorship by peaceful reincarnation. The red carnation is the joy of the Portuguese people, who are the midwives of their democracy, a community tested and now evolved. On April 25th, let's emulate the awakened power of the Portuguese people as we raise red carnations everywhere. I have a small writing group with Kathleen Williams, Julie Rogers, Sarah Menifee, and myself. And this poem is the product of one of those meetings. And I'll just mention June 22nd, the four of us are doing a reading at Bird and Beckett bookstore in San Francisco. I'm not sure of the time at this point, but I think it's sometime in the afternoon. Anyway, this one is called Chrissy Field, and I wrote it on New Year's Day, 2025. There's a kind of edginess there, precipitous, foreboding, breathtaking, the original truth of this place. A treacherous, accidental threshold, a bridge, and amenities can't obscure. Do the jumpers sense the bittersweetness of beginnings and endings, choose to die to it in sorrowful ecstasy? Over breakfast on New Year's Day, I chose this place to walk headlong into, to bring my own trepidations to the shore, the place of forgiving and forgetting, to be lost in the hidden beauty, to take a grain of truth with me in remembrance. This is a poem that I wrote on the anniversary of Jack's death in August 2022. And it was published on the Literature and Arts website. It's called From the Left Hand, a small stone of remembrance for this red letter day. To Jack from Lisbit. In the names of poets, in the names of poetry, poets known, poets alone. Throughout this world of daily revolution, throughout this world of daily evolution, poets know, poets atone. In a lifetime of decades, in a lifetime of days, poets live, poets die. In this home of humanity, in this home for all, poets enliven us, poets unite us. With languages of symbols and sounds, with languages of numberless words, poets hone, poets intone. To live in abundance, to live in peace. Poets observe the past, poets envision the future. Within all consciousness, beyond all consciousness. Poets act in the name of poets. Poets act in the name of poetry. This next one is from a chapbook I did called Horizon. It's from August 2022. This poem is called Wild Thing, and it's for a dear woman who was a very good high school friend, Julie. Wild Thing. She was the giddiness and tragedy of youth. A tiny blue and white bikini hung from her bones. She had survivor eyes, and her laughter was lush with a bodiness that set fires. She reflected light like the full moon, hiding, not hiding her originality. Today, I heard a coyote howling. She wasn't speaking to me. I stopped to listen to the brush rustling down the road from me. A coyote leapt out and froze in elegant listening. In those seconds of sensing, a spark of original flame flashed in my heart like a wild thing. I'm gonna read just a few to close out from. This is my latest. I dined on rhinestones in Pisco or Pisco. Another one for Jack. I ended up picking a lot of poems for Jack. Jack isn't silent. He opened his hands to show us how to let poetry happen beyond daily struggles and dispirited living, by feeling for words from the shards of his heart, writing them down boldly, forming his words on robust breath, speaking out for revolution in solidarity with the people, letting community, love, and wisdom stream from his deeply spirited voice. So open your hands, live your brief life fully within the eternity of time. And well, I think I'll end with this one, a title poem. It's a limerick. This is the only limerick I've ever written, but I quite like it. So here we go. There once was a poet in Frisco whose poems reminded me of disco. So I got up to dance and fell into a trance where I dined on rhinestones and Pisco. Thank you very much, everyone. This has been a real treat. I'm happy to be reading with Sacred again.
Thank you. Unmute, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to remove the spotlight. Let her know.
Very lovely, Lisbit.
All right, Lisbit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Wow, what a set.